Hello, in this series I'm going to teach you how to use AMP question types. So we'll have one video for each different question type and go through how to set that question up. So I am in AMP teams. I'm in one of my teams, you probably only have one, and I am in a training folder so that I am not polluting an active PLC folder. This is a question bank, I know, because it's the gray folder. So I'm going to open that, add a question, and we're going to start with a basic multiple choice question. This top box is for our question setup. You have different text options here to make this as professional as you'd like it to be. This question I'm going to add a picture to, so I'm going to click on this image. I can drag and drop an image, I can click on this plus sign to add one from my computer, or I can add a URL image from a website. I'm going to click on the plus sign and grab one off my computer. Once the uploader is done and I see that there, I can add alternate text. Alternative text is what the screen reader reads when a student with an IEP using a screen reader, when that screen reader comes to the image, it'll read whatever that alternate text is. So you don't want to give away the answer because that's what it's going to read to the students, but you want to give enough information so that if they have a visual impairment and they need that screen reader to describe what's in that picture to them, they get a good description. So there's my image. I'm going to bring my cursor to the other side and push enter so that I can put the question in now. I'm just going to do some copying and pasting. Alright, now I have my image and I have the question for the students to answer that goes with that question. I'm now going to come down to the options. Again, I'm just going to cut and paste these options in. There is a lot of front loading when you first start using Schoology and AMP, but after that you'll have a repository of tests available. If I had more options, if I were to come down to plus options, it would add another spot for me. I don't need that, so I can delete. So if you only had 3 choices, you can remove an attribute here. You also have the ability to add distractor rationale. For example, if I know that A here is not the correct answer, but it is often chosen by students, I can give a distractor rationale so that they won't go back and review the test. They'll have a reason already here for them as to why it was not the right choice. If you're not going to set that up right away, or you're not going to use that, you don't have to put that check in, but it is an option. Once I have the questions and the options set up, I'm going to come down here to the answer choice setup. So now I'm going to let the computer know what the correct answer is. You have a few more options down here. We can shuffle our options so that each student gets these in a different order. And we can also set this up to be a multiple response so that I can choose more than one correct answer. There is only one correct answer for this one, so I don't need that, but that is how you would choose multiple correct answers. When you do have multiple correct answers, I'm just going to show you really quickly, pretending that this is also an option. We know that on the SOLs they have to have both choices chosen for them to get credit for the question. If, though, you do not want to continue that model and you want to give them 50% for having one of the two, you can set up alternate correct answers. So if I clicked the plus sign here, I can choose an alternate, and maybe if they just have one, give them 50%, and then choose another alternate and choose the other one and give that 50%. So if the students only choose one of the correct choices, they'll get partial credit for that answer. So that's how you would set that up. The layout of this for the students right now, let me come up here. Preview and question is where you can check and see what it looks like for students. So for students now, this is what it looks like. I'm going to have it show the correct answer so I can make sure that I have the correct one chosen. But you do have some other options. If you don't like that layout, you can choose for it to be block layout and it gives them the multiple choice letters. Or you can choose the radio button option and they're kind of stacked. You can keep these in one column, you can change them to two if you like that layout better. These are just some options that you have. You can leave yourself some author notes, and then finally it is best practice to add learning objectives. So I will come down here to learning objectives, state standards, and then you kind of drill down to where your state standards are. There is a quicker way to do this, and I do have another video called Customizing Learning Objectives that makes this a whole lot quicker. And so I would come down. Alright, I'm just going to leave it for this example anyways. Once I have one chosen, I can confirm, but if it were multiple, I could choose as many that apply to this question. Once you're ready, you're just going to hit confirm. And again, best practice would be to preview this and make sure that it looks the way you want it to look before it is activated. I like it, so I'm going to click save, and that's how you set up a multiple choice.